It was a regular Friday evening. Kids laughing, pizza aroma wafting through the air, and the constant hum of arcade games. I was there with a group of friends celebrating a birthday party. The atmosphere was lively and everything seemed normal until the animatronic show started. Chuck E. Cheese and his crew took the stage, gears moving and music blaring. Kids were clapping, parents were smiling. It was just another day at Chuck E. Cheese. But then something changed. As the animatronics performed their routine, I noticed a glitch, a subtle, almost imperceptible malfunction in Chuck E. Cheese's movements. It was like a hiccup, a momentary lapse in the program perfection. Most people didn't seem to notice, but my eyes were fixed on the unsettling scene unfolding on that stage. The glitch persisted, and Chuck E. Cheese's movements became increasingly erratic. His plastic grin seemed frozen in a sinister grin, and his eyes, those lifeless mechanical eyes, flickered in a way that sent chills down my spine. The music played on, but as if it was as the animatronics were dancing to a distorted melody. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the arcade machines went silent. A hushed murmur spread throughout the crowd as everyone turned their attention to the stage. The glitchy performance continued, but now, something was off. The characters weren't just malfunctioning. They seemed to be acting with a purpose. Chuck E. Cheese turned his gaze towards me. It felt like his eyes locked onto mine, and for a moment, I was paralyzed. The laughter and excitement in the room faded, replaced by an eerie stillness. The other animatronics followed suit, their gaze fixed in my direction. As the glitchy spectacle unfolded, the temperature in the room seemed to drop, and I felt an unspeakable sense of unease. The atmosphere became thick with an unspoken tension. I tried to dismiss it as a technical issue, but deep down, a primal fear gnawed at me. The glitchy performance reached its climax, and then just as abruptly as it began, everything returned to normal. The lights stabilized, the arcade machine resumed their loud presence, and Chuck E. Cheese and his crew continued their routine as if nothing had happened. I tried to shake off the eerie feeling, convincing myself it was just a bizarre hiccup in the Chuck E. Cheese experience. But that gaze, those glitched movements, those lingered in my memory, an unsettling reminder of a night when the animatronics seemed to come to life in a way that defied explanation. To this day, whenever someone mentions Chuck E. Cheese, I can't help but recall that night, the glitch, the sinister gaze, and the unspoken horror that unfolded on that stage. So, the next time you find yourself in a cheerful chaos of Chuck E. Cheese's, keep an eye on those animatronics. You never know when they might reveal a glitchy, unsettling sign that defies the facades of family-friendly fun. I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese back in the 1990s. During the time when Chuck E. Cheese was at the height of its popularity, the place always gave me a weird feeling. I couldn't understand how kids found the animatronics cute. My regular schedule was 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. But one night, for some reason, a coworker didn't show up due to vacation, and I was the one chosen to cover the night shift from 11 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. The place looked eerie during the day, and I really didn't want to see it at night. However, due to a tight schedule with my boss and my struggles with sleeping, I had to plan carefully. On the same day, I decided to get sleeping pills before my night shift to ensure I could sleep and wake up with energy. The plan went well, and I started my drive to work. Keep in mind that this place was about 20 minutes away, so I had to stop for gas on the way. Finally, I arrived and walked in after unlocking the door. I used a flashlight to navigate the place, started my janitorial duties, and the last worker clocked out saying,
"Be safe,"
with a grin on his face. I continued to mop the floors, and about 2 hours later into my shift, I started hearing a mouse-like laugh. I shrugged it off, thinking it might be an audio issue. As I lifted up the curtain, it revealed Chucky and the other 4 animatronics. I was instructed to clean Chucky's eye, so I grabbed the cleaning material, probably water, and wiped down the eye. I was almost done when I noticed something unsettling. The other 4 animatronics were now looking at me. Freaked out, I hurried up, finished the task, and I shut the curtains. Despite my resolve not to fall asleep, the sleeping pills seemed to be taking effect, and I dozed off. I woke up in darkness, realizing I had fallen asleep on a chair in the kitchen. I went out and saw something peering at me from the stage behind the curtains. It was the CHUCKE animatronic, and I felt like my heart fell down a mountain. Backing up, I wanted to take a picture, but then I realized the worst feeling of my life. I had left my phone at home, and there was no way I was driving 20 minutes to get it. Freaked out, I stayed out of the party room paranoid. My shift eventually ended, and I headed home. When I got my phone back, I noticed 3 missed calls from my boss hours ago. I called him back. He answered, admitting he made a mistake and that CHUCKE was in the out-of-service room, forgetting to inform me. My heart dropped, and I told him I saw it on stage. He sounded freaked out, and we hung up. Unable to sleep, I must have dozed off because all I remember is waking up to a faint noise against my window, thinking it was just the wind and falling asleep again. In the morning, I remember what happened and decided to check the window I heard the noise from. I found the creepiest thing ever. A CHUCKE mouse ear on my window with a note, leaving a smiley face. I couldn't take it anymore, and I quit the job right after. I'll always remember that, and every time my son wants to go to Chuck E. Cheese, I go with him, but I'm always paranoid, fearing it might strike again.